I never thought I'd see the day where something from the prequel era would do an excellent job of capturing the classic Star Wars vibe. This is the third episode of the Utapau arc, Crystal Crisis. In this episode, Anakin and Obi-Wan basically are trying to get the crystal back to the spaceport, the crystal they discovered at the last episode, because the ship that the crystal's in is broken, the engines are malfunctioned, so they need to get it back another way. So they get to the port, they go through this really cool chase sequence, Grievous shows up, and unfortunately the Separatists get the crystal back, and they take off, and Anakin and Obi-Wan take off after them. And that's pretty much the episode, and I have to say, I forgot sometimes how little plot would happen on a Clone Wars episode. The Darth Maul comics, stuff like issue 1, or especially this issue, very little would happen. I'd be I feel like there's more to it, but as Clone Wars reminds me, sometimes not so much stuff can happen. Sometimes you can have a pretty action-y focused arc. And that's what this was. It was more action than anything. And it was another fun episode. Another episode that once again gets me pissed off the show as it canceled because it probably looked really cool animated. And I know for a fact because if you YouTube Dave Filoni panel on storytelling, he basically talks about a bit about storytelling in the Clone Wars. And first off, it's where I first saw a footage of this arc. And second, he does show a rough cut of the season 3 finale of the Ahsoka arc, and then he immediately shows what the final product looks like, and it's why can't we have that with this arc? But, oh well. So again, once again, really good arc. This feels I was thinking about this, but this arc feels like something out of season 1 or 2. Because Clone Wars has gotten really dark, and I know dark, but we've never had anything contrast, and I'm really starting to realize just how dark the Clone Wars is when we have something this fun and lighthearted. Again, this is the fun and lighthearted, time-wasting nonsense from seasons 1 and 2. Particularly season 1, except this time it's executed well, and it's really entertaining. Once again, great banter between Anakin and Obi-Wan, especially I like how they sort of switch places, how Obi-Wan becomes the more, assertive one, and Anakin's the more calm, level-headed. And the action was really cool, too. Again, there's this awesome chase scene. I'm why wasn't this animated completely? It would have looked... It still looks really good, mind you, but it would have looked so much better animated. I mean, these beautiful backgrounds, this beautiful chase scene, this elaborate action set piece, which is really cool. And again, the writers, especially season 5, they really started to get good at action. I feel like this would have been one of those showcases of how far the creators have come in terms of doing action. I found it really amusing in this fight how they managed to keep Anakin and Grievous from bumping into each other, because I was wondering this whole time, if Grievous is coming after them, how are they going to stage this fight so Anakin does not see Grievous? And I love it. Grievous is right behind them, and they have Anakin in the driver's seat. He's literally right there, but Anakin's so focused on driving that he can't turn his head around long enough to see General Grievous, and I found that so amusing. It's the whole reason Anakin's driving is so we can't see Grievous. That is fucking brilliant. And then, they leave the planet just as Grievous shows up. They don't really do that many Anakin and arcs where Anakin and Grievous are the set focus, but it's just so fucking amusing how, the lengths the writers will go to make sure Anakin and Grievous do not bump into each other. It's, so cartoony. I wonder if the show's gonna... I'm surprised the show hasn't been more... Yeah. I wonder if there was gonna ever be a line, where they acknowledge it. Anakin's how come everyone's seeing Grievous except me? I mean, I'm sure Anakin's seen him on a hologram, but he's never seen him face-to-face. So yeah, and I do have to wonder... Considering the Separatist presence on Utapau, I'm really surprised it took them this long to think Grievous is hiding out on Utapau. In fact, who knows, maybe this is the arc that explains why Grievous chose Utapau as his hideout. Although as to why he chose a hideout that the Republic knows Separatists have a presence on is beyond me. So anyway, so there was despite this arc being really fun, it got surprisingly dark at times. I was really surprised just how many deaths occurred. We have James Hong get killed, and he's such a fun comic relief character. I never would have thought that he would kill, but Grievous just cuts his head off, and it's like you can even see the head fall. I feel like that's something Cartoon Network probably would have made them cut, because in the past, Cartoon Network sometimes there's something really graphic and they make them cut it out. Like apparently, Savage was gonna decapitate the Black Sun leaders in the season 5 Darth Maul arc, but Cartoon Network made them cut that out. So yeah. And then this episode ends with Grievous murdering a guy. Like literally, Grievous walks up to one of the Utapau leaders, kills him, walks away, and then the credits come up. Like, I'm going to assume they were going to play the alternative credits theme for that. Like, this is one of those things where it's like, this is one of those episodes where it feels inappropriate. Like, seriously, imagine if he had died in here. Yeah, just, I mean, the silence during the credits leads me to assume that they would have done that. And, again, like, yeah, there are certain episodes where the alternate end credit scene feels inappropriate, and this is one of them. And also, it's very clear they factored in commercial times, because, they have to cut the episodes. The episodes have to stop for commercials, so you can clearly see, like, the 2 or 3 times during the episode where I'm guessing they assumed they were going to stop for commercials, because you can see it just randomly fade to black and come up again. So I'm guessing that was done for commercial breaks. And I'm guessing the reason why you don't see it in the Lost Missions is because they edited it out to make it more seamless, whereas this was just a rough cut back when they thought there was going to be more Clone Wars. If only that were true. So yeah, this was another fun episode. I guess my only real problem is that it really didn't do much to further the story. I mean, the last episode, we get to see all these different parts of Utapau. We meet all these characters. We learn all this stuff. Whereas this is just a point A to point B fun action story. Not saying it's bad. It just didn't really give us as much insight into the world as it could have. Again, maybe if the animation was finished, I would have enjoyed it better. But it was still a really fun arc. It was a little more of the same. Lots of action, fun banner. Again, it was still really good. It's just, there was nothing really amazing introduced. So, yeah. I'm curious as to what's going to happen next, although I am a little sad because I'm looking at the time on the next episode and it's only 7 minutes long. And the reason why that worries me is because I'm guessing that's how far they were in terms of doing the rough cut when the show got canceled. Which baffles me, because if this was season 6, why would they not finish the rough cut of... Why is it there's rough cut? Again, maybe they work on rough cuts simultaneously. But yeah, it bums me. So I'm curious so I feel like I'm worried I'm going to be watching it, and then it's going to end like right in the middle of the episode, and I'll never know how it ends. I'm sure not. I'm sure they think of something. But I'm curious what they're going to do, because like, it's going to go for 7 minutes and end. So I have no clue. Are they going to put up text saying what was supposed to happen? Because that would be lame. Hopefully Filoni is smart and thought of something clever. So yeah, I'm really curious what they're going to do for that. So that's all I have to say on the episode. Before I sign out, can I just point out how amusing it is that this Clone Wars Legacy video and these unfinished episodes, the announce and some looks at concept art and stuff, particularly the fact that they released an arc of Clone Wars online. The fact that this literally came out the exact same day the Rebels premiere was posted online. It's almost like Clone Wars is trying to compete with Rebels. It's like, I would have watched the Rebels premiere by now, but the thing is that Clone Wars is more important to me. And also, I still need to do my top 12 favorite Clone Wars episodes, but I digress. But yeah, it's like, I chose Clone Wars. One, I want to support it. Two, I just already know Rebels isn't going to be as good as Clone Wars, although hopefully it'll surprise me. But yeah, and also, I wanted to watch these episodes, and I also wanted to space them out episodically. So yeah. Rebels, you've lost me. You've lost to Clone Wars. once again. So yeah, I'm really curious how they're gonna wrap this up. Hopefully it's good and it doesn't end abruptly. And yeah, I will see you guys on the on the next vlog, which I'm guessing would have been the season 6 finale had the show not been canceled. Like, I'm really hoping it ends in a smart way, and yeah. So yeah, until tomorrow when I have to say goodbye to the Clone Wars again. This is JStar260, and may the Force be with you. Take care.